She needs love, and girls need love. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, heavy breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you get right. I can get it till you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. We don't get any feelings. Hey, I need some love.
Greetings. It's the Thursday morning live, unveiling Queen City's hottest topics and viral social media news. Welcome back to Queen Tulsa Radio. We are thrilled to announce auditions for new talent. Send your submissions to tabloidsqueen@gmail.com. In this episode, we will explore the pressing issues, including the devastating events that unfolded in New Orleans during the Sugar Bowl, where a tragic act of violence resulted in multiple casualties. Additionally, we will investigate the connections between the suspect in this incident and a recent explosion involving a Tesla Cybertruck. Join us for a thought-provoking discussion on these significant topics and more. Okay, so listen here. We are definitely going to bring this up. I did see that there was, oh my goodness, there was just so much going on. You know, there were party goers and locals that went to celebrate the New Year's there in New Orleans, and they are saying now that they are thinking about postponing the Super Bowl because, you know, the Super Bowl was going to be held in New Orleans this year. And so that's going to be a bummer, you know, for the football fans and plus the teams. I mean, they're ready. They've been training all year and, you know, they're ready to play some ball and kind of get it over with, you know, and then it's not going to be normal because the Super Bowl season would be at the end of January. All right, so let's get into this article, you all. Sugar Bowl postponed until, let's see. All right, let's see. All right, actually, I'm going to do this right quick because we are freezing up on this AM. All right, so the article reads, Sugar Bowl postponed until Thursday due to terror attack in French Quarter. City officials confirmed to the news outlet that the Sugar Bowl has been postponed to Thursday after a terror attack happened in the New Orleans French Quarter. The new kickoff time for the game is Thursday at 3 p.m. Central. As tourists descended on New Orleans to attend the Sugar Bowl at Caesars Superdome New Year's Day, police swarmed Bourbon Street. At least 15 people were unalived and 30 injured, with a pickup truck intentionally plowed into a crowd. The FBI is calling it an act of terrorism. NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said she wanted the community and visitors to continue enjoying New Orleans despite the tragedy. Dozens of Notre Dame fans could be seen leaving the city at the New Orleans International Airport. Officials with the Sugar Bowl issued the following statement about the attack. The Sugar Bowl committee is devastated by the terrible events from early this morning. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. We are in ongoing discussions with authorities and the local, state, and federal levels, and will communicate further details as they become available, said Jeffrey Hundley, Chief Executive Officer. Sugar Bowl information. The 91st annual Sugar Bowl was scheduled for Wednesday In New Orleans at the Caesar Superdome, the two teams competing in the Sugar Bowl are the SEC champions, the Georgia Bulldogs, and the seven-seeded Notre Dame. This will be the first year college football playoffs has have done the 12-team format. The Sugar Bowl is one of the quarterfinal games that will determine who will go on to the next round and compete in the playoff semifinals at the Orange Bowl in Miami Lakes, Florida. The Sugar Bowl brings in thousands of fans to the city every year. Notre Dame issued the following statement regarding the attack. Our prayers are with the family members and loved ones of those impacted by the terrible attack in New Orleans early this morning. We also pray for all those injured and extend our deepest gratitude to the brave first responders who risked their lives to protect others. To be in solidarity with those who suffer is to exemplify the spirit of Notre Dame. Today, we are in solidarity with all those impacted by this tragedy. Reverend Robert A. Dowd, CSC, the president. Okay, so the University of Georgia also issued a statement regarding the attack. Statement from President Jerry W. Moorhead says, I am deeply saddened by the devastating attack in New Orleans overnight, and I extend my sincere condolences to the victims, their families, and all those affected by this terrible tragedy. At this point, we have to, it says, at this point, we have learned that, and we'll actually drop this one down and get on over here to this article because, we got to take it over here. I want to know what else was said, but, we are going to take it over here to Twitter. And thank you all for being so patient with us as we go through these triggering topics on this rising. So let's brace ourselves. We'll continue. Says, at this point, we have learned that a University of Georgia student was critically injured in the attack and is receiving medical treatment. I have spoken to the student's family and shared my concern, support, and well wishes on behalf of the entire UGA community. I would like to express my gratitude to all the first responders who moved so quickly to help those affected by this senseless act of violence, as well as to the medical personnel who are caring for the injured. As we continue to hold the victims and their families in our thoughts and prayers, the university will do everything in its power to support those in our community who have been impacted by this unspeakable event. So, UGA, that's the University of Georgia, that's the Georgia Bulldogs, and they had given out a statement. So, prayers up. This is such a tragedy. Like I said, you're going into the new year, you're, there to celebrate. And next thing you know, there's a vehicle, a pickup truck that plowed through the audience. And I don't know if you all remember, but that happened here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah, I believe it was, hello, Simply Made. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Yes, I don't know if you all remember, but that happened here. And that's been happening way too often than none. All right, let's get into it. So that's that for the Sugar Bowl. Do you all watch the Sugar Bowl? I love you. Um, do you all watch the Sugar Bowl? Do you participate? Were you going to participate? I know there are a few creators here in the space that we work in. Some of them are from New Orleans, and from the looks of it, some of them are, I don't think that they were affected. They were online and they are well, but like I said, just pretty much checking on our people. All right, so let's move into our next segment of the show on this rising. And like I said, I did post the link to receive and purchase some merchandise, some royal merchandise. The link is definitely in the chat. Make yourself comfortable with that link. Oh, absolutely. All right. So authorities probe possible military link between suspects in New Orleans attack and Trump Tower Cybertruck blast. The potential link was just one thread being pulled by officials Thursday, a day after 15 people were unalive when a man plowed a pickup truck flying an ISIS flag through New Year's Day revelers on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Authorities are investigating a possible military connection between the New Orleans car ramming suspect and the person who unalived a Tesla after a Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside Las Vegas Trump International Hotel. On New Year's Day, two law enforcement sources familiar with the cases told NBC News the potential link was just one thread being pulled by officials Thursday, who were also searching a site in Texas a day after a man drove a pickup truck flying an ISIS flag into New Orleans' busy Bourbon streets in the early hours of New Year's Day. Unaliving 15 people and injuring at least 30. The FBI is investigating is a terrorist attack. Authorities are still looking into people of interest. The Orleans Police Department Superintendent Ann Kilpatrick told a news outlet today on Thursday, hours after the New Orleans attack, the Las Vegas explosion triggered heightened security around Trump Towers in New York and Chicago. Tesla CEO Elon Musk is a top advisor to President elect Donald Trump, who is set to take office later this month. Now, listen here. This is a lot. Trigger warning, just to let you all know. All right, let's get right back into it. All right, President Joe Biden said Wednesday that law enforcement and the intelligence community were investigating whether there's any possible connection between the incidents. New Orleans suspect Shamshad Din Jabbar, 42, who unalived in a subsequent pow with police, was a U.S. national Texas resident and Army veteran. He worked in the military's Human Resources and Information Technology departments between 2006 and 2020, including a deployment to Afghanistan in 2009. So, this is a man that was in the military. So, this guy that rammed and plowed was a veteran, an Army veteran. Get into that. They say he worked in the military, Human Resources and Information Technology departments, and this was between 2006 and 2020. So this was just 4 years ago. Well, 5 years ago now, just depending on what day he stopped working there in 2020. But then it says that he got deployed to Afghanistan in 2009. So my thing is, do y'all think that this is going to be a reoccurring event where we see some of these veterans maybe, you know, doing the unthinkable? Because when you think about it, this is doing the unthinkable. It has to take a lot of thought and effort. This was a premeditated situation. This was a premeditated situation. I don't think that he just woke up and said, "Hey, I'm just going on New Year's Day, I'm just going to go and plow this car into these people." Now let's get into this. The suspect in Las Vegas Trump Tower blast, who has not been publicly identified by law enforcement, and I wonder why, also had previous military experience. Now look at this. Now look at this. Now, didn't I just say, before we even got to this, didn't I just say, I wonder if this is going to be a reoccurring situation? All right, now let's go. Whew. The suspect in the Las Vegas Trump Tower blast, who has not been publicly identified by law enforcement, also had previously military experience. Two law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation said they did not elaborate further, stressing the investigation was still unfolding. Both vehicles were rented from the same company, Turo, and officials are looking into whether there's a link on that front. Now, listen here, before we got into this, didn't I say that it was premeditated? This seemed like it was premeditated. This seemed like it was thought out. So, my thing is, this is only the beginning. This is the beginning. It's like a domino effect. First, it was one, now it's the second one. You know, I think that this is really sending a message. And when we talk about Tesla, and when we think about Elon Musk, and when we think about this whole presidency, and then we have to think about those individuals out there that have a remorse on their voting. Grand Rising, Tiara. Good to see you. Yes, y'all make my day. You and Simply Made stop by and drop down. Yes, we are discussing the New Orleans attack, the Trump Tower, the Cybertruck, that situation. Now let's get into this. Now, like I said earlier in my commentary, this seemed like it was premeditated. And I also said, is there going to be other individuals that are military veterans or military associated that are going to be following behind this? And as we can see, it's been proven, yes. So we had two people, and now they're trying to see, are they linked together? Because get into this, both vehicles were rented from the same company. So you had a situation in Las Vegas and you had a situation in New Orleans. Both vehicles were rented from the same company. And what company was that? That was Turo. So now they're saying, and officials are looking into whether there's a link on that front. Turo said it was actively partnering with law enforcement authorities as they investigate both incidents. Well, I would hope that they would. Okay. Now, get into this. In New Orleans, it should have been a night of celebration on one of the country's most famous party streets, a popular tourist area in the French Quarter filled with bars and restaurants. Around 3:15 a.m., however, it became a scene of horror, with witnesses and social media videos describing bloody, mangled bodies strewn over the road as the truck raced down the street before crashing. Now, listen here. Mardi Gras is what, right around the corner. Isn't that what, in February, y'all? Mardi Gras is in February. Now, I wonder if this is going to affect the tourism there. I wonder, will this affect the tourism when it comes to Mardi Gras? I mean, this happened at the beginning of the year. It's starting off this way, kind of, should we be, should we be kind of looking forward to more devastation? I don't know. This just puts me on a high security alert, you all. I'm not going live to you. Well, let's get back up into this article. Now they say this man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. Police Superintendent Anna uh, Kirkpatrick said at a news conference. She said he was hell bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. As details continue to emerge about the victims, and the mourners flocked to the scene to lay flowers. Questions were raised about how the driver was able to get around barriers designed to keep pedestrians safe. So, who was there working with him? So, when we talk about this, now we're really going to have to look at those video footages. Look at that video footage. We're going to need to see who was moving what, where he came from, because they said that they have very much so footage of this nefarious individual with his feet pressed to the gas. doing some destruction in that town. I mean, this is like they said, this is a very popular town. This is where Mardi Gras is. And if you all know, Mardi Gras is like a real big, New Orleans, I hadn't been there yet, but that is a town of, good food, good music, and they love to celebrate. So my prayers are definitely up to them. Now get into this because the mayor did speak. So Mayor Latoya Cantrell said bollards were not up because they were still under construction. She said the project was nearly finished with completion expected before New Orleans hosts the Super Bowl in February. Okay, so what she's saying is, they were still working on some kinks and things. They were still, trying to pull Super Bowl together, right? Now, get into this. Jabbar lived in Texas, and later Wednesday, the Harris County Sheriff's Office said it was conducting a court authorized search of a location in Houston, an operation involving an FBI SWAT team negotiators. Uh, bomb technicians, and a group of counterterrorism investigators. Child, no arrested had been made, FBI Houston said in an update late Wednesday. Get into this. Muriel, the Louisiana Attorney General, told a news outlet that investigators suspected that explosive devices associated with the New Orleans attack were made in an Airbnb in the city rented by those involved. So they packed up, they got an Airbnb, they had all their gadgets, they had everything that they needed. So they pretty much built what they needed and then they went out and just did their destruction. Okay. Now let's get into this. It says a potential improvised explosive device was in the truck, and the potential IEDs were discovered in the French Quarter, the FBI said. Meanwhile, the Sugar Bowl college football game between Georgia and Notre Dame is expected to go ahead Thursday at the Superdome in New Orleans after it was rescheduled from Wednesday evening. Okay, now listen here. What do y'all think about that? Now, these are two occasions, right? These are two situations where you have a Tesla that exploded, and then you have a man, an Army veteran at that went through these barricades. They said that there were no barricades down. He just flew in there, pressed the gas, and plowed. And one of the chief, the superintendent, she said that he was trying to get everybody. He was trying to get bodies. Hey, Ms. Douglas. Ms. Douglas says, what gets me is that they can identify one in New Orleans, but not the one in New York at Trump Tower. Give me a break. Well, that one happened in Las Vegas. So that one happened in Las Vegas. And what they were saying was they had to take safety measures and precautions for the Chicago location and the New York location. But no, this individual went right on over to Las Vegas and did that Trump Towers. Good to see you, Miss Douglas. All right. Now let's get into our next topic here, y'all. All right. So our next topic is going to be, child, we have the Catwoman, child. She has went to glory. Yes. She has went to glory. If you all know, if you are a movie fan, Joycelyn Wildenstein, she went to glory. Yes, she did. Catwoman Joycelyn Wildenstein, known for her extensive plastic surgeries, unalived at 79. The Swiss-born and New York socialite unalived on on Thursday in Paris from heart failure, her partner said. Oh my goodness. Swiss socialite Joycelyn Wildenstein, also known as Catwoman due to her extensive plastic surgery, has unalived age 79. Her partner said on Wednesday, "It is with heavy heart and with great sadness that Mr. Lloyd Klein announces the unexpected unalignment of his beloved fiancee and longtime companion, Joycelyn Weinstein. The fashion designer said in an English language statement, Mrs. Weinstein unalived peacefully in her sleep in the afternoon of December 31st, 2024, in her suite in Paris, where the couple had taken temporary residence since August of 2024. He added, says he tried to wake her from a nap so she could get ready for New Year's Eve dinner, but she was unresponsive. He said, "Get into it, y'all. She definitely looks like a cat." Early reports from the doctors called to the scene indicate that she had endured heart failure and passed peacefully in her sleep, Klein added. Born in Switzerland in 1945, Jocelyn President became a New York socialite after marrying art dealer Alec Weinstein, with whom she had two children. She kept his name after their messy divorce in the late 1990s. Okay, get into that. Some media reports gave her age as 5 years older. In a recent interview, she had blamed the confusion on people mixing up her birth year with that of her ex-husband, 1940. The cosmetic surgery affiancando, with more than a million followers on Instagram, became known as Catwoman in the tabloids for the feline-like shape of her eyes. She had been living between New York and Miami, she told French media in recent months. Weinstein last posted a video of herself and Klein posing for photographers outside the Ritz Paris on December the 23rd to the soundtrack of Wham's Black Christmas. Child, get into it. I never wanted to change my face. French television news channel such and such this Ottoman, though admitting she might have wanted her lips to be a little thicker. Sometimes we can overdo it. Sometimes we can overdo it. I don't know if she was going for like the plastic Barbie look or, I don't know. But it just kind of looks like, sis, she was definitely, they pulled her. They snatched her up, honey. They snatched her up. Baby, they pulled it back. You see what I'm saying? Yes. Miss Yogi is in the building, says, "Good morning, Queen Tulsa Grand Rising, Miss Yogi." You said police. Okay. Miss Douglas says, Lil Kim looks like a cat too. Isn't that it? Hey, Miss Ariel Summers. You are way too early. Good early morning. Listen here, it's a new year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes. Listen here. I am so excited to be here for y'all. I really am. Get into this. She denied rumors, okay? She denied the rumors. She embarked on cosmetic surgery to try to keep her ex-husband. She received 2.5 billion from their divorce, making it one of the most expensive at the time, according to Klein. As if she had found love again, she said she had with Klein, who was 21 years her junior. Child, get into this. Klein and Weinstein met during New York Fashion Week in 2001 when Lloyd was presenting his fashion collection on the runway. He said in his written statement, she was a front row guest. After the show, the two became romantically involved and have remained inseparable since that time. Joycelyn was my best friend, my partner, my fiance. She had a zest for life and a wicked sense of humor, he added. All right, so prayers up to Catwoman. And, thank God she lived her best life. You know what I'm saying? Get into it. Now, speaking of living the best life, we've got we've got Haley Bieber and you got Justin Bieber, honey. They have a new bundle of joy. and I'm so excited for them. But we need to definitely check on Justin and see how he's doing. Sierra says, yes, cheers to good health and blessed to see another year. Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. I don't even know where I put my coffee. Okay. All right. So let's get into the story right here. This one really piqued my attention. So it says Haley Bieber reveals new photo of her and Justin Bieber's baby Jack Bieber. Haley Bieber celebrated the new year by giving another peek at her and husband Justin Bieber's baby boy Jack Bieber, this time in the form of a heartwarming black and white close up selfie. Get into it, okay? Haley Bieber is ringing in the new year with her baby, okay? The Road Beauty founder kicked off 2025 with the latest peek at her and husband Justin Bieber's 4-month-old son Jack Blues Bieber. What a cute name! And the new pic will make you get up on your feet. In January, in a January post to her Instagram story, Haley shared an adorable black and white snap of herself lifting Jack's legs and leaning in to kiss his foot as she smiles behind it. On top of the close up pic, she wrote HNY, shorthand for Happy New Year, alongside a paw print emoji and smiley face emoji. Okay. The 28-year-old celebrated New Year's Eve with an elaborate party. Shared pics from the night in a Jan 1st post, flaunting her multiple festive outfits that included a fuzzy cheetah print trench coat and in an In-N-Out burger paper hat to match her indulgent burger covered in caviar. Get into it. New Year's Day wasn't the only recent family filled celebration for Haley, who tied the knot with the one less lonely girl singer in 2018. Indeed, the Bieber celebrated Christmas Day in a cozy, lavish style, with Haley documenting the day's festivities on her Instagram story, including the matching blue and white striped pajama set and slippers she wore, as well as the soft boiled eggs with caviar she ate for Christmas breakfast. And the holidays aren't the only time the pair had given heartwarming glimpses into their new lives and spirits. In November, Haley and Justin share a sweet peek at an outing with baby Jack as the pair cozied up to each other while flashing massive grins on an outdoor walk as their newborn was strapped to Haley's chest. Now get into this. Isn't that just so adorable? When the little baby's feet is just like so small, you know, and they don't really be crying. They just want you to hold them, and really, you're not really, you're supposed to hold them, but like, child, you just can't put them down, and you're like, oh my god, they're so spoiled, and then you're holding them again. Get into it. Though Haley has yet to reveal a full look at their little one, she has made it a point to emphasize her gratitude for the gift of motherhood. Congratulations. On December the 29th, she shared a throwback pic of her baby bump and wrote on the photo, "Thank you, 2024." Okay. For more peeks into Haley's and Justin's lives, parents, and other cute moments from their relationship, keep reading. Okay. So here's some photos. That was like 6 years ago. All right. And then a little photo with her and her hand on his feet. Oh my goodness. And then her and Justin. Kind of like, staged photo. I'm worried about Justin. I really am. He looks so thin in this. I mean, I want y'all to look. So, he looks, his arms and things, they're not really, really that thin. But I want y'all to get into how thin he is. He's real thin in here. You know? He's real thin up in there, like he's hiding his arms. I mean, yes, wearing the big old clothes. You know, when you're losing weight rapidly, it looks like he's losing it quick. Not saying that he was ever like a just a big old guy, but you know, is Justin stressed? I don't know, but we're gonna send prayers up to the Biebers and their little bundle of joy. Okay. Shout out to them. Yes, congrats to their bundle of joy. Yes, all right. So on to our next topic, you all. Now let's get into this. No, we're not gonna do that one. So let's get into this, y'all. All right. So according to Media Ticket Out, Royce Reed, she was on the Basketball Wives. I don't know if y'all remember her, but she was on there for a period of time, and now she's sounding off on her ex slash child's father. And when I tell y'all, things are heating up and at a rapid pace. Okay, I mean seriously, Dwight Howard, you know, he was about well basketball player. I believe he plays like what overseas now. All right, so I guess he plays like overseas. But let's go ahead and get into this. So it says Royce Reed links Dwight Howard to unalivement of Pastor Zachary Timms. Dwight Howard's Basketball Wives star, baby's mama Royce Reed, implied that the NBA baller was somehow linked to the passing of Orlando mega church pastor Zachary Timms. Child, it's something about those eyes, child. Rest in peace. Media takeout. I learned that Royce went on IG last night and told fans that Dwight was with Pastor Timms just hours before he unalived mysteriously inside a New York hotel room. Get into that. Royce claims that she has screenshots that placed Dwight with Zach just before he was found unalive, and she plans to release those screenshots. Girl, you need to be going to the police. Child, and speaking of police, child, they got her mugshot. You know what? Who's shout out to our friends over at Media Takeout. Listen here. Y'all be on it. Royce claims that she has screenshots that placed the wife with Jack just before he was found unalive, and she plans to release those screenshots. Without the screenshots, there has to be there has been no evidence that Royce is telling the truth. Pastor Timms was found unalive in a guest room at the W Hotel in New York City in 2012. NYC Chief Medical Examiner's office said that the pastor unalive accidentally from acute intoxication by the combined effects of cocaine and heroin. According to the Tim's body was found by a luxury hotel in Times Square when a worker entered his hotel room to check the minibar. Authorities located a white glass and envelope filled with white powder in the right pocket of the pastor's shorts. Oh, child, which was later found to be a narcotic. Oh, Tim's founded the New Destiny Christian Center in Apo, Apopka, Apopka, Florida in 1996. Tim also made a name for himself in television and frequently appeared on TVN. Child, let's get into what Ms. Royce said.
Just to reiterate why I'm doing this, he decided to call my child while he was playing Fortnite a few nights ago. And this is after I told my child, don't block him. You know, maybe one day he'll change. I have never talked shit about his father publicly or even to him, really ever. And anyone who knows me knows that I would I would literally like stick up for him. There was a day where my child was that kid sitting on the sidewalk waiting on his dad.
All right. So listen here, we are back. Not really sure what happened, child, but we are going to run that back one more time. Producers, can we get that back one more time? All right. So all right, let's go.
While he was playing Fortnite a few nights ago. And this is after I told my child, don't block him. Maybe one day he'll change. I have never talked shit about his father publicly or even to him, really ever. And anyone who knows me knows that I would I would literally like stick up for him. There was a day where my child was that kid sitting on the sidewalk waiting on his dad to pull up. There was a day that happened. That day is also the day that I found out that he was in New Jersey with his cousin and Pastor Zachary Timms. I screen grabbed that picture. That next morning, all of a sudden, Pastor Zachary Timms is no longer with us. There's no video surveillance, but there is a picture of who he was with. And then all of a sudden, Superman's Twitter went from having 10,000 tweets to about 10. But I digress. I'll get there later. I'll talk to y'all later. I need to finish, deep conditioning my hair.
Okay, so what do y'all think about that? My thing is, when the family is feuding like this, I think that it's not a good look for the child. Like, really, the child is the one that really suffers, because when you talk about social media, just in this time and day, it's not, I don't think that parents can really keep secrets. I mean, the celebrity kids, because, if it's not bloggers, it's the news outlets, tabloids, and things like that are going to report on these stories. And so, I just really hope that the young man, their child is in therapy. And I just pray that Royce, is okay, and I hope that she's protected. I know, like, when you bring out those type of accusations, it just, it's like, do you really want to go down? Do you really want to go that route? You know, because when we talk about, defamation and things like that, Royce, we're gonna need some proof. You know, we get that you're seeing it, but you're making this public, so we're gonna need to see the proof. And then you're seeing that you have video and you have proof of him and that guy. Why would you not go to the police? So you held on to some information for what? You knew what was going on, but why didn't you? I don't know. You all let me know what you all think in the comments. Get into this. Beyonce admitted she had a New Year's ritual that was really dumb. Beyonce said that once a year she completed a ritual that she thought on some levels was inadvisable. It felt like a baptism to her, though a way to let go of stress of the preceding months. The singer shared why she liked to do it, but still thought it was what? Dangerous. To celebrate the new year, Beyonce and Jay-Z traveled to St. Bart's and spent time on the All right, you all, we are back. So we were visiting and talking about Beyonce. Um, my thing is, that's just her ritual, and I say it is what it is. However, I'm not really sure what's going on with our live broadcast today, but I want to thank you all so much for coming through. This concludes our live broadcast. Please make sure you let me know how you felt about each and every topic. What are your thoughts? What would you have done different? And do you agree with what was going on? I will go ahead and drop the link for a moment just in case anybody wants to come up and sound off on any of the topics. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'll drop the link. If anybody would like to come up, sound off on any of the topics that we discussed on the morning show. Yes, let me go ahead and thank you in advance. Thank you all so much for supporting Queen Tulsa, the show, whether it's a like, a share, a subscribe, a Cash App, a PayPal, or a Zelle. Thank you for coming by and watching the show. And this is your commercial for being acknowledged for just being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, who would be watching? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, shout out to Miss Ariel Summer. She says, I thought the Tesla was in New York City, but it was in Vegas. Yeah. So the Tesla, it was definitely in Las Vegas. But, hold on. Maybe we might be onto something. Maybe, New York, y'all need to be careful and be protected because there is a Trump Towers there, and then Chicago, and then Chicago. It's just a lot going on out here in these streets. You all, please stay prayed up. Please stay out the way. Try not to get into no arguments with people when you go out, and just be aware of your surroundings. This concludes our morning broadcast. We want to thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. So long.